Do you support Donald Trump?
Hell yeah.
Why do you support Donald Trump?
Because of how much y'all hate him.
Why is that a reason to support him?
Same reason it's a reason for you to have this platform and make content based off of nothing but Donald Trump.
What do you mean?
Who else could you make content off of other than Donald Trump year
Um,
round?
I did plenty of other topics before I talked about simply just politics.
All right, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I really don't know you. I seen you and Dean Withers live one time, so
Yeah,
I kind of got on yours then. But you sound just like him, and you're doing the same thing.
yeah, because Dean and I are good friends.
Best friends, huh?
You know who did this first?
Who? You?
Yeah, I actually
Oh,
told Dean to
okay.
do. I told Dean to do this.
Really? You
Mm-hmm.
told Dean that, hey, you wanna make content about
No,
one person.
so we did a bunch of different topics, and I told Dean to do this topic as well because it is the case that it's incredibly important and beneficial for people to have this type of information and to debate this topic, right? Because it is the case that it's so effective, right? When referencing changing how people think, right? And especially that's impactful towards the way people vote. And I would argue that like us engaging in this has been incredibly impactful in a positive direction and has led to a lot of really good influence. That's exactly why I did.
All right, I would agree with that if you were talking about politics instead of just Trump. But you're just talking about Trump and no politics.
Because that's about politics, right?
Yeah,
We're
but
it's
no real
politics
politics.
responding from each other's sides. We talk about the different policies and reasons why they support Donald Trump, because that's the
But
position that Republicans hold right now.
what do you support? Like, who did you vote for, and why did you vote for them?
Kamala Harris, because Kamala Harris is better than Donald Trump.
No, that's not a good enough reason. That's just like y'all throwing these
That's the
insults and not giving me facts.
what that's not an insult. I said Kamala Harris is better than Donald Trump.
I know, but that's just like instead of y'all telling me why what Trump did was bad, y'all are just throwing a bunch of insults. That's just like you saying something just because you're telling me that you don't like Trump,
Hold
so
up.
I
You
voted for
you could
him.
ask me for why are the reasons why I think that, but just saying I'm saying that for no reason doesn't make any sense. Given that that's just a baseline for why I voted for the way that I did. Are you
So
expecting
why?
that I gave every reason why I voted the way I did within that
At
response?
least one, at least a couple.
Okay, Donald Trump was held civilly liable when he bragged about walking into the
Whoa,
changing
stop, stop, stop.
rooms.
I said Kamala. I said Kamala.
Kamala, okay,
Why
six
you
thousand
wanted to vote
child
for Kamala?
$6,000 child tax credit for the first year of a child's life. 3,600 through them being 5 years old. 3,000 through them being 18. $25,000 tax credit for first-time home buyers for new homes. $2,000 cap on pharmaceuticals out of pocket. $35 cap on insulin for everyone, not just seniors. She believes in science, specifically climate change, and supported the largest investment in renewable energy ever through the context of the Inflation Reduction Act. The continued response on an international stage in terms of that, expanding access through the ACA, expanding education access. I can point to plenty of things that Kamala Harris would have done that are significantly better than Donald Trump.
Would have done. So why didn't they do any of that when Biden was in office?
For example, the Inflation Reduction Act was the largest investment in renewable energy ever. The Bipartisan Infrastructure Bill, the CHIPS and Science Act, the PACT Act, the American Rescue Plan. A lot of this had those policies within it. Like the American Rescue Plan had the $3,600 child tax credit through them being 5 years old, 3,000 through them being 18, which, when implemented, reduced childhood poverty by 45%.
Man, you do a lot of numbers and talking, but for some reason when y'all are talking about Donald Trump, y'all aren't doing these numbers or any of that. Y'all are just it's a bunch of insults.
Okay, I'll give you numbers then. Donald Trump's big beautiful bill adds $3.4 trillion dollars to the debt, alongside the fact that it decreases after-tax income for the bottom 20% of income earners and gives massive tax breaks to millionaires and billionaires. So it takes hundreds of dollars per taxpayer in the bottom 20% of taxpayers, and it gives that money to people who are rich, people who are incredibly wealthy, already doing well. Right, so adding trillions of dollars to the debt and taking money from the poor and giving to the rich, which is literally reverse Robin Hood, is absolutely insane to support. Is that good enough?
So if that's what he supports, what do they support?
For what?
What do they support if that's what he supports? If
I,
he
I
supports
actually
giving our
just gave
money
you that
to the
list.
richer people,
Would you like me to list
no,
it out
not the
again?
list. No, 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 no. I'm saying like the specifics. The specifics is that he supports, or yeah, he supports the elites, and he's giving our money to the elites. What are they doing?
They're doing whatever is going to be the most profit maximizing condition for themselves, which isn't
Okay.
necessarily going to be giving money to their workers or their employees or people in need, right? And that's exactly why I say that we have a natural trickle up aspect of the economy. That if we have a booming consumer market and we have consumers that are doing well off, we're naturally going to see a trickle up effect where money will naturally distribute to the top. Whereas specifically, if we have a trickle down, if we rely on that, it's never going to actually trickle down because they don't have an incentive to give money to their employees or to send money down unless they make money from it.
So, man, this sounds so good, bro. But like I said, why didn't Biden do that, and why didn't Obama do that? And Biden been literally in politics for over 50 years now. Can you name an accomplishment he's made in 50 years?
Bipartisan infrastructure bill, Chips and Science Act, PACT Act, Inflation Reduction Act, American Rescue Plan. I already mentioned five. Those are just in his previous administration.
And what did those do
Plus,
for me?
what did those do for you? The bipartisan infrastructure bill put over a
What did those do for me? The lower class. What did that do for me?
yeah, the bipartisan infrastructure bill put money into investment in infrastructure specifically to develop high-speed internet in rural communities, high-speed broadband in rural communities. It specifically also put money into roads and bridges. It put money into getting lead out of drinking pipes for clean drinking water. There are plenty of things that it specifically was funding that were absolutely positively impactful. The Chips and Science Act increases domestic manufacturing of chips production in the United States, which is going to bring us up to 20 to 30% global production of chips by 2030. All right, we can also point to the PACT Act, which gives more funding for healthcare for veterans, right, who specifically were exposed to burn pits and toxic substances abroad, right? So expands the VA. We can also point towards the Inflation Reduction Act, again, the largest investment in renewable energy ever, the $35 cap on insulin for people who are on Medicare, who are on, and then also like we can just acknowledge the American Rescue Plan, which again reduced childhood poverty by 45% when implemented.
Look, man, you make a lot of money off this Trump content, don't you?
Do you want to respond to anything I said? Because I answered every single point
What
that you
else
just made.
content you do?
What other content do I do? Is that what you just asked?
Yeah,
This is my content.
yeah. The Trump content,
Yes.
where you can just go live and say, "Why do you support Trump?"
Yeah.
This is how you make your income.
Yes.
That doesn't sound crazy.
Nope.
That's crazy. And then you told your homeboy, "Hey, man, all you gotta do is say, hey, why do you support Trump in your life? You can make an income." That's what you told Dean, right?
Dean already had a platform prior to I told this to him.
Y'all finessing, bro. All
What makes you instead of responding to any of
And
my
hey,
points,
he gave that platform
and
up, boy.
instead of responding to any of the points that I made, he's just got to say that I'm like finessing people. You know, I'm making money, also doing something that I'm good at, and I also provide good for the world. You understand that like what I just brought up is information is incredibly important. It's something that I wouldn't know if I never specialized specifically within this. I wouldn't be able to respond as
That's
effectively to
that's,
these types of
that's
arguments if I didn't specialize in this. If I didn't have an economics degree, if I didn't have background in this that would be relevant towards being able to have these conversations in the first place. So when you sit here and you act like I don't bring anything to the table when I specifically come up on these lives, it's actually ridiculous. I mean, there's over 6,000 or like about 6,000 people listening
no,
to
you.
live right
I
now.
mean,
Not
you the
because
same
I'm just some
thing.
random kid on the internet, but because I'm providing good information. I answered every single one of your questions. I gave you the reason why Donald Trump is a bad candidate. I gave you the reason why Kamala Harris and Democrats would be significantly better options for the working class, for people in need, and for marginalized communities. But you didn't give a respond to any of those points. You just cared to mention that I'm making money like every other business in the United States. No.
No, I told you that sounded very political.
Yeah.
Very political. It sounded just like what we've been hearing since I was born. And for some reason, when Donald Trump came and he wanted to run for president, everybody stopped liking Donald Trump. And believe it or not, I had nothing to do with politics. I was sleep as hell, just like everybody else. And I never voted. I got felonies. I can't vote. So, but I
It
still,
depends
when
on the state,
Obama
but
was
I
in
just want to let
office,
you know
me being black,
it does
you
it does
can't
depend on
stand.
the state. It does depend on the state that you're in, like, and what types of felonies. Just to clarify, people who
Yeah,
are
I'm in
felons
Alabama.
can vote depending on the state.
And yeah, you don't want to know that.
What's up?
Yeah, not my felonies. But But
Okay.
when I was asleep and
Wait,
stereotypically black, I would have voted for Obama.
wait. So here's my point then. So in
No,
term,
I'm black.
hold up. So wait, okay. So here's my point when it comes to this. I if you can't vote, I mean, I don't know why you would say you support Donald Trump then. One. Secondly, as it relates to this, if we can point to like,
I could still support him.
yeah, you can't vote for him, right?
What does that matter? I still support him. I still see that people hate him,
Like
and
why?
I don't see the reason for why they hate him.
If you can't vote for him, why?
Yeah, like why? Like why? Why? I mean, first of all, my rights being taken away doesn't mean I can't have an opinion,
Sure, sure,
right?
sure, sure. So you do think felons should be able to vote? Is that what your argument is? Like,
No, what? I don't care about. I don't care. I fucked up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I messed up. So that's life. I was a kid.
so do you think
I'm
that
33 years old now, bro.
so
I
you
have a
don't think
son in
that
the house right now.
okay? I mean, we don't. Okay, so I guess like I was confused. What was I previously? We were previously at a point. I was gonna make a point. I kind of lost where we were. Where were we at prior? Can you remind me?
Yeah, because your point was that you hit me with a bunch of political stuff, and I didn't know. I didn't know what to say because you sound just like every other president trying to give me a promise and trying to tell me you basically a campaign. Like you sound like
Kamala.
whatever. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing her name wrong. On a campaign.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I understand that I sound that way, but that's
So
just because
I wasn't trying to do all that.
I
I wanted to get you the fact.
so I understand that I sound that way. But what I want to explain to you
The
is that I'm
the
giving.
the facts that
I think there's a bit of an echo, or not an echo, like a delay.
no, go ahead, man.
So I think that like I think I understand that I sound that way, but like if you like listen and ask questions and like try to engage with my positions, I'll give you reasons for why I like have these views, and it's going to be different from a politician because I'll actually engage with the perspectives that you bring up, given that you're engaging in good faith.
All right. Well, so to me, bro, there's nothing that any president has ever done that has affected anything when I walk outside and I see a difference. So to me, I have to go based off of actual reality
Wrong, wrong.
and
Did you go
what
to
I
public
see.
school?
And yes,
Do you use public roads?
yes.
Those are both things that the
These
public
have been here since,
provides.
like I said, hey, man, like I said, nothing has benefited me,
You just explained how
me,
you were
the
benefited.
taxpayer, the person who's paying for all that.
You benefited off of the education system,
No, I'm
correct?
benefiting myself.
Really, you paid for it?
Okay, we're off subject, huh?
So you paid for your public education?
We're so off subject.
Okay.
No, I don't know. I don't. That doesn't matter, man. Can I make my point?
Hmm.
So, like I said, I go based off of reality. And you told me I couldn't, but for me to go off of y'all's word, that's just crazy. That's like listening to a voice in my head. I'm sorry. Don't let that get us off subject. So back to my topic. I have to go off of reality. So I'm looking at what you do and what you have been doing. And so I looked at your profile. I can't find anything. You got a couple videos, but if you go to Dean's profile, you'll see that when Biden was in office, he wasn't talking about politics. He stopped. He started doing TikTok dances. He started doing regular things. He started becoming a regular person again. Like he ran out of stuff to do, basically. And then Trump came back for his election, and then you see it. And then like I see it with my dad too, because this is just how I study things. So my dad's profile is the same way, where when Biden was in office, he stopped talking about politics. He has no opinion about anything Biden did. Same with Dean Withers. He has no opinion with what Biden did. And then Trump comes back, and now here we go with the political shit.
It's actually really funny, especially that you
So to
use.
me, like for y'all not to having a, I'm sorry, what'd you say?
It's really funny that you specifically say that Dean went back to dancing. No, Dean's been doing debate lives about politics since prior to the election. Was debating about the election prior to that point. He didn't do
Wait, you
dances
say
ever.
politics. You say politics, bro. You mean Trump, right?
Yeah, I'm
You mean
confused.
Trump, right?
Wait, but wait. I just want to let you know when
Yeah, because you said politics.
listen. I want you to listen. Dean, so you're saying that like when Biden was in office, he didn't talk about politics. When Biden was in office, he did talk about politics.
Did,
What's up?
did he talk about what Biden did?
Yes.
He didn't talk about anything Biden did.
Yes, he did.
Come on, man.
Dude, I literally go live with him like all the time. He's one of my
Then
best
you should know
friends.
what he said. What he say?
I do. I
I
do
bet.
know. What do you mean? I
So
can
what did he
reference, but
say? What did he say about Biden? What did
what about
Biden
Biden? It
do
depends on what
when he
topic
was
you're
in
referencing
office
about Biden.
that
That's a
did
very vague.
anything? You can compliment him if you want to, if you know how, if you could. But I don't think you could because he was sleep. He was asleep for 4 years.
The bipartisan infrastructure bill, Chips and Science Act, PACT Act, Inflation Reduction Act. Those are all things that Dean has mentioned on his own live.
So on his live, I said on the videos,
You said he went back to dancing. That never
like I can't go
happened.
back and check his lives.
Secondly, I just want to let you know I'm on my girlfriend's account
So
right
there's
now.
not there's not
Okay,
there's
hold on.
not
I'm just gonna mute you because there's a bit of a delay, seemingly. So I'm just gonna mute you, because we keep cutting each other off. So I mean, sorry, I just thought the door opened. So I'm on my girlfriend's account right now because my main account and my third account, which are my main account and technically my second account, got banned, right? And I'm on my girlfriend's account right now because all my other accounts are banned. Um, I don't know what your point is with that. You can go to Dean's account, and if you knew anything about Dean, you would know that he talked about the election prior to the election happening. I mean, for months and months and months. You can see him over like almost a year ago talking about like the election right on Jubilee. You can see videos of him debating right on the internet about Biden versus Trump, well before Harris was even the candidate as well. And if you want to say like, why didn't he do this in like 2020 or something like that, or 2021 or 2022, prior to him having a TikTok platform, that doesn't make any sense.
No, I wasn't trying to go back. I didn't even go back that far, bro. I just went back far enough to see a couple things before Trump started trying to come back into office. And I did see a TikTok dance. I don't know if he erased it, but I know I saw a TikTok dance. But that's not my
It
point.
would be that would be
My
coupled with
point
something
was,
else. He doesn't just do dances. Like
yeah, he damn sure
maybe
I'm doing right now because Donald Trump trending.
what, dude? He doesn't even do that. Like he literally makes like media content now. Do you want me to go to Dean's account and
Mm.
show you his account or something? Like
All right, well, like I said, man. Oh no, you don't have to. But I do want to know when Biden was in office, what were you doing?
when Biden wasn't in office? What do you mean?
No, when he was in office for those 4 years, like, did you go live
Yes.
and did you do the why do you support Biden?
No, I
You did
did.
the why do you support Biden?
No, I did. Why do you support Trump? Because I support Biden over Trump.
So you still was making Trump content during Biden's administration.
Every once in a while, yeah, it wasn't my main topic, but every once in a while I did that, yeah.
Did you ever go live about Biden?
Like we would talk about Biden versus Trump. My background wouldn't be why do you
But
support
nothing
Biden?
about Biden unless
What the do you want me to do? I'm so confused.
I want you to make it political and not about Trump. I want you
Cool.
to, you know how when we had candidates to choose from, like we didn't have one side getting softball questions and the other side getting whole questions.
So I just want to let you know. politics will be the thing I talk about. And the reason why it's Trump is because Trump has an association with politics right now. When Trump's not in the political landscape, it will be about other politicians. I will debate against other right wing individuals. It will probably be, why do you support Vance? Or why do you support Republicans? Right? There will be a point where it will change. But right now, Trump is the dominant force within the Republican Party. Also, I just want to mention this, right? I used to be a Trump supporter. Okay, so in this thing that you were saying, like prior, like I think you were talking about, like, people like grow up and like they're liberal and like they're always liberal and they don't know what they're talking about and like that's just how they've always been. I grew up in a conservative Christian household. In high school, I was a Trump supporter, and my views changed over time.
All right, so no, I didn't say nothing about like what you just said. I was talking about me in general. Like when I was stereotypically black, I I literally went and got a shirt made with Obama's face on it because my president is black. My Lambo was blue. That black.
Okay,
So I was happy because we had a black president.
oh, okay. I'm
So
confused
like
how
I
that's
said, I was
like how that would be
stereotypically
wrong for you to be
happy.
happy about
The black
representation
president.
in the position of presidency. I'm confused how that's a response to like what I
No,
was
because it
arguing.
is wrong to care about the color of my president. It's wrong to care about the color of my president.
I think that what we would want to focus on here is that there is representation for Black Americans when historically there has not been representation because of systemic racism, because of slavery and Jim Crow, right? And I mean, I can point to plenty of reasons, historically speaking, why people who are black have been restricted from being into these
Yeah,
positions of power. So
yeah, no,
obviously, people
he
who are
did.
black getting into these positions of power is absolutely something to be proud of, right? That's not something to be like, oh, this is like there's no reason to be happy about that. There's
No, no,
absolutely a
no.
reason to be happy about that because it's demonstrating that there is progression with this country, right?
So no, I'm sorry, I don't agree with anything you just said. And and Obama did nothing for black people, bro.
What?
Nothing.
One that's
So
one
me
that's
being so happy for no reason
one that's not
was
true.
like coming to
Secondly,
realization.
secondly, like, again, that's just a complete and utter pivot, right? What we were specifically talking about was that you thought it was like that was like a relevant point to bring up in response to like what I was describing. I'm so confused how we got to this conversation.
No, but because you were talking about how you were a Trump fan back then, and it's like to me, if you was a Trump fan back then, bro, you was just racist. If you was a Trump fan back then and you had no reason to be, you was just racist, bro. So I don't really know what to say about anybody who
If you think Trump
supports
fa-
Trump and
if you think
don't
Trump fans are racist, why
actually
would you be a
have a
fan of
reason.
Trump? If you think Trump fans are racist, why would you be a fan of Trump? Like, I'm so confused. If Trump fans are racist, why would you want to be a fan of Trump?
So the media portrays Trump as a bigot, a racist, and most of his fans are so-called racists. And any kind of cult, Aryan Brotherhood, whatever, they're the ones associated with Trump, even though it's not really associated, but they make it seem like it because the media controls everything, and you sound just like the media.
So why do you support Trump?
You don't remember what I said when I first came on here? I support Trump because of how much you hate him.
So are you just like trolling me or something? I'm confused.
Not at all. Not at all. My profile is rapping Trump.
I'm confused.
No, I'm not trolling.
Do
I'm
you
I'm so serious.
if you could go back in time and either vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump, who would you vote for?
Man, what? Are you serious? I would not vote for Harris, bro.
Would you vote for Donald Trump?
And oh, if I had a chance to vote, maybe I would go vote for Donald Trump. Yes.
Okay,
See,
okay.
I don't think
So
you
so then
understand
why
because
why?
you're white. Listen, bro. I- I'm I'm black. So me growing up and seeing my grandma and my older sister and my mom literally abuse the system and have all these tricks to get by on welfare and Section 8. Literal tricks. Teaching people. Like this is what we were doing. So when people say that black people are getting comfortable on welfare and Section 8, I agree. I totally agree. I seen it with my own two eyes.
Yeah, I don't like the association that we're specifically just saying that black people are getting Section 8 and these particular types of programs because historically that's been used as like a mechanism to like stigmatize people who are black because it is the case that they are claiming that like people who are black are on welfare or on these different types of social
That's not what I
programs
said.
and that they're like
That's not what
drains.
I said. I said,
I again I
wow, bro.
can I please speak? I would love to be able to speak. Historically speaking, this has been used in order to literally stigmatize black people because it is the case that they are claiming that people who are black are just literally frauding off of the system and they're not doing anything or any work, right? And it's actually ridiculous. One, because it's used as a justification to try to cut people off of programs, and two, because it's meant to dehumanize and stigmatize people who are black, historically speaking. I'm not saying you're doing in this circumstance. I'm just saying I want to clarify that because there are stereotypes that people have generated associated with that are incredibly harmful that should not be applicable, right? And I think that's a really important thing to acknowledge in the context of this conversation, right? So I mean, I would like for you for us to have a conversation about like why you think that the current Section 8 system and the current system in general in terms of Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security is somehow going to be better given that Donald Trump is in office comparative to Kamala Harris.
Look, bro, I would consider myself a sovereign citizen if I was allowed to. I don't even have a license if you want me to be honest with you. So whatever they're gonna do, I don't care. All I know is all I know is the world is being ran by corporations and BlackRock and Vanguard. They're best friends with each other, and that's who he after. So
No, he's not. He's helping them. Can you tell me what BlackRock is?
you said he's BlackRock is a company that has a bunch of stocks or a bunch of money in a bunch of stocks. So they have a bunch of control over those stocks. They have a bunch of
Brian, pay me
control over
$2.
Disney. Uh, yeah, go ahead. You laughed. I want to know why you laughed.
It's just an investment management firm. Like, so I just want to clarify. Like, yes, they do have huge control over some things in certain contexts, depending on the level of control they have in those situations, because of just like they have access to so many assets. But that doesn't mean like one, they're controlling the determinations of businesses, like by themselves, especially because they don't control enough of a business to do that in most scenarios. Secondly, I just want to address the fact that like it's often used as a buzzword in order to act like that there's some sort of small group controlling the entire world.